How to get your boss's support even if they don't like you. I'm an expert in this. I've had many a boss, most of my bosses not like me, and been able to get their support. So this is a masterclass. You're going to love it. Here's what you need to know. Support is a basic human need. Of course, you want it. And in a large hospital system, I'd say you actually need it. You can't move initiatives, secure promotions, build a meaningful, purposeful sustainable career without leadership support. So if your brain is like, I need the support, of course you do. And sometimes our bosses are not giving it. In this episode, you're going to learn 5 powerful new strategies to get their support, even if they don't like you. This will not involve begging, people pleasing, overworking, over confronting, or filing HR reports. You ready? Okay, good. Me too. Strategy one, translate your work into their metrics. So every boss has a scorecard, and this scorecard is different in different parts of the hospital, different parts of the university. It's absolutely different from center to center. You'll want to figure out what is it that your boss really cares about. Some will care only about RVUs. Others, it's going to be about research and innovation. Others, it's about grants. Others, retention, patient satisfaction. It's so different. So figure out what is your boss's scorecard. And we do this together when you join my program, but you can go ahead and figure it out now. What is it? What is your boss measuring? What is your boss finding as this means success for your boss? Your boss is expected to do these things to be successful to their boss. So it can be really useful. Let's think of your boss's boss. What are they pressuring your boss to do? That's what's very important to your boss, right? Oh, it's so good. So you're going to want to, as you see the scorecard, not every part of the scorecard is equal. Focus on the areas where you have overlap with your boss. With what matters to you matters to your boss. Circle that area. That's the area to grow. And if it's only one thing, that's enough. If your boss values faculty retention, you're going to want to look at how does your work improve morale, reduce turnover, help with recruitment, like focusing on that bit of it. If your boss only cares about visibility and prestige, then what you're going to want to do is show how your work promotes that. Maybe that's through giving talks or publications or getting prizes, recognition to the department. When your work advances your boss's goals, you shift from being a nice to have employee to must prioritize employee. It makes all of the difference. Shared values will multiply results. When your success advances theirs, they're really going to move mountains to help you. So, for example, in one of my jobs, I've always been, to be honest, since I was in high school, I've been passionate about coaching, mentoring, all of that kind of stuff. And my chair, she really cared about stability. And listen, we had like 10 faculty leave a year. She was right to care about stability. She just didn't know how to do it, right? So she was laser focused on turnover and reducing it because for a good reason, it's very expensive to recruit. It upsets the morale of the group. There are service cover issues. Bringing new people in always can jeopardize the dynamics of the group. And it's expensive. There's so much time invested in meeting and figuring out, well, who's the right person negotiating, right? She was like, I'm sick of hiring 10 people a year. This is a real priority. Meanwhile, I love coaching and mentoring. So I circled that part in her scorecard where she wants to reduce turnover. And I said, hey, listen, I know every year we have 10 faculty leave. I have an idea to reduce this down to almost zero. I want to propose to put together a faculty mentoring program. So when these 10 new faculty start this year, we're going to make a cohort for them. It's going to involve monthly mentorship. They're going to know their promotion criteria from the very beginning. They're going to have a community. They're going to feel seen and supported. We're going to have them build relationships with all the leaders in the department. They're going to know from day one how to be successful and how we can help them and how to build these shared values. No guesswork, no spinning years wondering, is this going to be promoted or not? How do I have a relationship with the chair? None of that. This became a diamond, a flagship of our department. It was getting recognition all over the university. It was held up as a prize, as an example, like this is what we should be doing for our faculty. My boss got a lot of recognition for this innovative approach of how to support our faculty. Our new faculty, we're getting along well. You know, our biggest problem? Was the existing faculty here was like, what about me? Who's going to help me? Right? That's how you know you've got a great idea is when everyone's like kind of jealous of it. And of course, we figured out ways to include them as well. But yes, certainly my boss is getting all this recognition and innovation, and she credited me for the one who did that. She cleared out paths. She promoted me. She put the spotlight on me because she wanted me to do more of this work. Her success was tied to my success. So she moved mountains to make sure I was successful. And that's a secret. When you make your advancement linked to their achievements, now seeing you succeed is more important than seeing them succeed. Seeing you succeed is seeing them succeed. But here's the key. Don't chase alignment in areas you dislike. I see this all the time. Women physicians will pick an area they hate and then be surprised why they hate their job. Listen, if your boss prioritizes RVUs and you are maxed out, don't want any more, do not prioritize RVUs. Do not bring in ideas from RVUs. If your boss really cares about ICU coverage, and you don't want to be in the ICU, do not bring up ICU coverage as an idea. If your boss wants to overhaul the residency program with leadership and new SOPs and a whole new curriculum, and you think that sounds like torture, stay out. Hear me, only bring up things of shared values. Something we work on in my program is figuring out what is your values, because oftentimes you'll see physicians, they know what their bosses value, they have no idea what they value. So let me give you some of those tips here. Think about what lights you up about your career. What sounds like fun and exciting and energizing that when you think of it, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get up in the morning and get started. That's your, like, that's where your heart is. That's where your energy is. Those are the areas you want to focus on between your boss. If you're saying, I don't have any shared interests, I'm going to say you need to be my program because you're just not seeing it. You're blocking yourself. But what's very helpful is fill out the scorecard for your boss, fill out the scorecard for you, circle just one thing to start and grow. Strategy two is create predictability and proactive communication. So we want to give them structured opportunities to support you. They may not be supporting you is because there might not be any opportunities to. So do not wait for the annual review. Don't assume silence means they're disinterested. I'll tell you this. When I went to my first job, or maybe it was my second job, it's hard to keep track of this, but the job before this, I saw my boss hours every day. I could not see less of her. I wanted to, but it was just like a very small little department. And so we saw each other all day long. So I go to the next job and I'm assuming it's going to be the same. Totally different system. This boss is across the university. I don't see her at all. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I just have to wait for her to come find me. You know, when I saw her about a year later, we were at the same meeting and we ran each other in the hallway. We had never run into each other at our own institution. And I had made it mean she doesn't support me, she's not interested in me. And she had made it mean the same thing. She's like, oh, Christina's too good for me. She doesn't want any of my support. So we were both reading in terrible signals in this. And that's when I learned, oh, even though I'm the most junior person here, it is my responsibility to make these relationships work. And that didn't feel heavy and gross and like, oh my gosh, I have one more thing to do. It was like, oh, I'm responsible for making this job work. I influence it. I control it. She might be the chair, but she's not doing a great job with this relationship, but I can. I can show her what I need. I can give her opportunities to support me. So I started making appointments with her, and she was so happy to see me. And she was so willing to help me. She just didn't know how to get that started. I could get it started. So look around like, where is the relationship atrophying or in ICU or not doing well? Where can you start making it healthy? Book the meeting yourself. Get on their monthly calendar. Go out for lunch together. Go for quick coffee. Focus on progress and shared goals. At that meeting, emphasize how you have the same interest by showing the RVUs if she's really interested in RVUs. Or for me, I would tell her the updates about the mentoring program because she really cared about turnover in this program. This is called strategic consistency. It builds trust, familiarity, and collaboration. Strategy number three, build allies above and around. So if your boss isn't directly championing you, all you need to do is expand your circle. You want to expand it horizontally and vertically. So by horizontally, I mean with your peers, your people who are at your level, with the people you have known since medical school or residency, the people you went to fellowship with. You are surrounded by peers who are championing you. And I do think that circle is far more powerful than the chair circle. But we like to keep all circles open. So, where could you activate your horizontal structure? Where can you activate a vertical structure of support? So, that might be with your division chief, your associate deans, other leaders in wellness at your university, other departments. Here's what I suggest you do once you kind of start, you're cultivating, you're activating the system that's already there. Write a list of all the support you wish your boss would give you. I want invited lectureships. I want to write a book. I want to head up a coaching division across the university. Whatever it is, write it all out. And now your work is to divide it amongst all of your circles of network. There will be some you give to your boss, you bring to your boss. There'll be some you bring to your horizontal network. There'll be some you bring to your vertical network. But the point is, all of your wishes can come true 100% as long as we're expanding our network. So for me, I noticed my boss wasn't giving me any invited lectureships, and I thought it meant that she didn't think I was a good speaker. I think she just didn't have any to give, to be quite honest. So I created invited lectureships through my horizontal network, through my peers at other institutions. We would just swap invited lectureships because, hello, it's all made up. You can write on your CV, I was invited to Hopkins, even if your friend is the one who invited. It all counts. Nobody cares who did the inviting. So that's what it would look like. List the support you want and then divide it amongst your network. If you're wanting to do more research publications grants and your chair isn't available, work with your fellows, work with other people at an analogous position in your department. If you want to do wellness initiatives and your boss is not available for that, talk to the wellness center. Work at the national level with national organizations. Go to your favorite partner society and say, I'm interested in bringing on wellness. Tell me how, I've got some ideas of how we can make this work. That's how you can guarantee your support, even if your boss is kind of a little bit checked out. And also, as you start building support through these various circles, your success will be impossible to ignore. Your visibility is safety. It spreads influence through the department. Your boss is like, oh, okay, this one is doing all these national initiatives I didn't recognize, I didn't realize, amazing. And it turns you into a nice to have employee to a must prioritize employee. Bonus points is you can share visibility with your boss, with your center. And that can help you build relationship currency. So, one of my bosses really cared that her faculty were being promoted. They weren't writing papers, they weren't giving talks, they weren't national superstars. And yet, I mean, they were amazing faculty and such nice people, but they weren't able to meet the metrics for promotion. And she really wanted to see them promoted. So, what I could do as bonus points is I could share my visibility. I just gave away invited lectureships. I included them as authors. I came up with projects and I included them on book chapters. So I shared the visibility. And that was another way where I could, when I shared mentorship with others, that got noticed at the higher level. So sometimes when we tell ourselves, I'm not getting supported, a question could be, who could I be supporting right now? Just be for one, because it has helped you with your relationship coaching department, but also there have been studies like the one thing that can help us the most when we help others, when we become the person who helps others, it feels so inherently good. I think especially to women doctors who our natural tendency is to help, is to care. Not in a way that exhausts or taxes you, but in a way that energizes you. Strategy 4, practice reciprocal leadership. Make their success your business. Make your success their business. So I'm going to say this in a different way, is that leadership is a two-way street. A lot of physicians think once you get into the job, you become the passenger and your boss is supposed to drive you around. Not at all true. Real power is reciprocal. And really beautiful careers are when the staff member, the physician, is driving her boss. The boss is in the passenger seat and we're here driving that car, right? But most people forget this step entirely and they will hold their career back. This is a very powerful move that we do in my program to have iconic careers. So when you make your boss's career success depend on yours, You are building intentionally relationship currency, which is the most important currency for advancing your career and doing well at your center. It is how you activate the fastest path to mutual success. So I'm going to give you some other ideas of how you can do this reciprocal leadership, strategic ways to give back. Some of them, if you love them, do them. If not, just ignore them, but just start get to thinking. It can be really simple as the first idea is ask them to be your mentor. There's a saying, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. This was sort of my philosophy that becoming a mentor at every institution I was at was required in order to advance your career. Even tenured professors, you were required to mentor, and that is universities, hospitals expected the most senior people to share their seniority with others. And yet, many, many, many physicians have a hard time acquiring mentees. People don't want to work with them because they're not that nice or they're not that supportive or they don't have that many resources for whatever reason. Becoming someone's mentor is a very prized, precious, and sacred opportunity. I agree. So what I would do is when I found a leader, I was really having trouble getting to shared values, I would ask them to be my mentor. And I will tell you, it would go from nightmare situation overnight to in the daytime. How can I help you, Christina? I like what you're doing, Christina. Can I help you with this? Can I give you this opportunity? What do you think about that? Overnight, because I had tied my success to theirs. I had made my success their business. I had made their success my business. Very simple to ask someone to be your mentor. Number two, this is very overlooked. Go to faculty meeting, grand rounds, holiday parties, new resident lunch. Just show your face, even if it's just for 5 minutes and you paid yourself out. It counts. Chairs are human too. And I've seen chairs worry, well, no one's coming to my faculty meeting. What does this mean? They don't like me. They are human too. They are just as insecure and anxious as we would be if we were running a faculty meeting. They notice who's there and who's not there. And the people who are showing up, they become prioritized faculty. So get yourself there and then you can page yourself out if you just can't. I would go there and I would just like be on my phone. So I would go there and I would page myself out. Just kind of alternated so it wasn't time consuming. Three, and this is entirely up to you, depending on if you have a great boss, is nominate them for an award when they say when something comes through, we need someone to take call tonight, like offering to pitch in these ways can also build a relationship currency. Of course, only do it if you want to, you have capacity. Of course. These are just a couple of ideas of how small strategic gestures can make you stand out as someone who contributes to the ecosystem, not just constantly draws from it. And as we get into faculty, get our first job, we want to look at where can we make deposits? Where could we be giving back? Where could we be supporting others? When the question is, I'm not getting support enough from the boss, something interesting is, where could I be supporting someone else? It demonstrates such leadership and maturity and starts calling in that support from you. It builds trust, loyalty, and advocacy. When the boss sees you as someone who's helping others succeed, they'll start clearing paths and creating opportunities for you. This is how you can get your boss's support in a really powerful way. It's how women physicians lead upward, sideways, forward. It saves you time and energy by building out your network with powerful leaders because you've become one of them. All right, strategy five, the mirror rule. It's not about you or really about them. Here's the reframe that will change everything. Your boss's lack of support doesn't mean anything about you. It doesn't mean you're not working hard enough, you're not politically savvy, you're not connected enough, you haven't done enough fellowships, you're not pushing enough RVUs. It's really never that because you're really never the problem. Most of the time, why they're not supporting you is because they're already stretched too thin. They're burnt out. They don't have a coach. Their boss is not supporting them. They're buried in bureaucracy. Their own boss is pushing and twisting their screws. They just don't have much to give back. And also, their personal life very well may be unraveling. So it's not personal against you, it's a structural thing. And that's going to be really important. It's not a personal attack against you. It's some structural element. Structural elements can be overcome. If it was personally about you, there's just no way out of that. I mean, right? You cannot be another you. We don't want you to be another you. There's no way to fix that. It's a structural issue. We can fix every structural issue with strategy. So this is the mirror rule. Their behavior reflects their world, not your worth. And I want to say, I'm going to give you an advanced tool If you hate it, forget it. But this is going to release you from so much misery. The mirror rule is not about you, it's about them. And also, it's not about them either. And here's why. As long as you think they're monsters and terrible leaders and evil humans, you will be consumed by so much energy. As long as your brain has labeled something dangerous, it is forced to constantly be vigilant about this dangerous thing because that's its job to keep us alive. It's your brain is a threat detector. So if you label someone an evil person, your brain is going to be constantly thinking about them. It'll wake you up at 3 a.m. You'll think about them on vacation. You'll think about them when you're driving. So we really want to get to a place where they're not a problem and you're not a problem. When we're not blaming them, we can just liberate ourselves to be free to get our job done at work. We start opening up opportunities and possibilities. Also, if you think someone's evil and you want their support, like that's just not going to jive in your body. And they'll read that energy, and no one wants to help someone when that person thinks you're evil, right? If there was a person in this world, let's call her Annie, and Annie thought we were an evil, terrible monster human being, we would not want to help her. That's just human nature. So we want to get away of we're definitely not the problem. They're not the problem. We want to focus on what is it that you want and how can we get that to you as fast as possible. It will remove wasting energy and time on judgment and frustration and blame and just free you up for possibility. So you can get there fast because you deserve it. And when you do, your boss just becomes one possible resource, not the only one. You never, ever, ever hear me. You never, ever, ever want your boss to be the only person who can help you because it will make you dependent on them, their mood, their situation. What if that person leaves? Never, never, never. You want your boss to be one resource in circles of lots and lots of circles of networks. Your boss's limits, just the landscape. Everything can be overcome with strategy. You navigate the landscape with sophisticated strategy every time. So here are your journal prompts for strategic clarity. One, what outcomes does my boss care the most about? And where do my interests overlap with theirs? Just circle it. Find one area. A tiny area is all you need to just start growing that shared interest. Two, what cadence of communication will help me create more opportunities for this boss to support me? Schedule one today. Three, who else can amplify my results through my network? Send an email today. If you're wanting an invited lectureship, write a girlfriend. Let's exchange invited lectureships. Four, how can I up manage my boss? How can I lead my boss? That is there a way I can send an opportunity or visibility their way? Five is where can I apply the mirror rule right now today so I can stay focused on what I want to get done and get home versus being reactive to my world and my boss and waiting for their reactions. So in summary, you don't have to wait for your boss to become supportive in order to be supported. And we've identified 5 strategic ways where your boss absolutely, you can help them become more supportive. One is speak their language through metrics that they care about. Two is communicate predictably. Three, build allies above and around. Four, practice reciprocal leadership. Five, apply the mirror rule. When your results drive their success, they'll do everything they can to keep you moving forward, winning, succeeding. Women physicians, we don't need perfect bosses who love us to build meaningful careers. I am an example of that. I think every boss I worked with really disliked me. Some of them hated me, and we still built amazing careers together because everything can be overcome with strategy. You can rise in any system when you define and create your support and success. And that's just what we do in Next Level Freedom. If you're not already in our world, get in. You can get started as soon as this week. Book your free sales call below. And on that call, you can onboard directly into our program. See you there.